including the candidate that complained. We did write to them in April, and we've reached out and we've asked that they share with us the expectations. We've had 2 meetings with that campaign, and we've had many other meetings with other campaigns.
The 12th National Assembly is today expected to adjourn Sunday as their 5-year tenure comes to an end. Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, is expected to bring the curtains down on Parliament that has ups and downs. However, the Legislative House has faced a division along party lines that has affected the conduct of the House. For more updates as pertaining to that.
Good afternoon, Linda Lela, live from Parliament, where the 12th Parliament is expected to go on a Senate recess, but having processed over 300 bills, but 59 bills already haven't gone through and assented to. But according to leaders and various MPs, they feel this has been the best house which they have served, despite of having 11th and even 12th and 12th Parliament. But comparing to it, majority of them feel, despite of the divisions which were witnessed following the parties' divisions, still that is not something which has put the Legislative House down, but instead it has put it in order. But I would like to hear from the Majority Whip what he has to say, considering that also this National Assembly has been blamed not only with anything else, but with the passing of the debt ceiling, and today stands at 9 trillion shillings, and more burden to with this becoming more burden to Kenyans. But what is his take as leadership to this 12th Parliament? Now, Majority Leader, I would like to hear your take on this, considering that you've served for the 5 years, but around 2 years as the Majority Leader. What do you think of the 12th Parliament?
Thank you, Liz. First, I've served as the Majority Whip, not the Majority Leader.
Yeah.
And having taken it through for the last 2 years, I feel this is a great Parliament. I have served in the 11th Parliament and as well as the current 12th Parliament. What I saw in 11th Parliament is not the same as what is happening in 12th Parliament. At the same time, also what I would want to comment is 12th Parliament had also its own challenges. The issue of COVID-19, the year 2020 to 2021, was really a terrible year. Legislation was really a challenge, but we managed to come through. So I would want to say we have tried and we have done the best we could in the best interest of the Kenyan people. For the issue you mentioned about the blame about the debt ceiling, I would want to say, well, if you want to have a child and you want to keep your dress on, then definitely you don't expect one. This is a challenge. The truth is, we all have to look at each other's eye and say, are we doing the right thing? Is a Kenyan people doing the right thing when they receive money that is gotten through bribery? Are they doing the right thing when somebody steals and goes to them in form of now seeking for votes, and yet that person a year ago was being blamed for being one of the persons involved in corruption? The end result is we definitely now transfer that goodwill that we have onto the burden of the debt of the nation. Therefore, it's important we all must stand up as Kenyans and say we now want to take our country forward. Stop supporting anyone who is corrupt. Stop supporting anyone who is doing something against what you know is right, so that all of us can now protect this country, Kenya. By saying so, what do I mean? It was inevitable. It's totally impossible that we could avoid seeing the debt ceiling crossing over to 10 trillion. And that's why everyone, including my colleagues who could say they don't want the debt ceiling to go up, they chose to run away from the floor so that they don't want to be seen to participate in the debt ceiling. But at the same time, they are saying they want the money to be used so that to be approved so that they can access the next government. So according to me, it's all about lies and truth. The truth is we must just have the debt ceiling approved. We must live within the 10 trillion ceiling. There is nothing we can do because already the commitment has been done. And I want to draw Kenyans to the report by Public Investment Committee the other day, which was discussed on the floor, presented by the MP from Vita. He has really laid bare what people need to read. When we talk of corruption, when we talk of auctioning, when we talk of what is it that's happening, is in that report. So anyone who says the 10 trillion ceiling is wrong should first get the reports of PIC, should see what is happening on the floor this moment when we are discussing the Turkana wind power. Why are we saying we cannot do this? Yet at the same time, the people who have erred are visible and looking for what is wrong.
So according to you, as a leader in this National Assembly, you did the right thing?
Correct. We did the right thing to put the government in the position it deserves, so that we can see the government moving forward. But the infrastructure and the channel to making sure that we live within the debt is up to the executive. So Kenyans have a chance to pick on the right executive on 9th of August. Remember, the 10 trillion ceiling is just a ceiling for now. If you get the right government in the next 3 years, definitely that ceiling will come down. So, to me, Kenyans have a chance to make the right choice, to see who can save them from this burden of the debt.
Also, the National Assembly and the 12th Parliament has been blamed for going on bed with the executive, and so to say that keenly they didn't play their mandate and their role as it was required. What is your take on this?
I wouldn't want to say we went to bed with the executive. One, the law, the constitution is very clear. You have the minority side and the majority side. Majority side is the representative of the executive in the House. So for me as the majority whip, I am the House as the majority whip looking, who is a majority whip? Is an appointee of the party to the House. So mine is to make sure when my party leader, the President of the Republic of Kenya, went to the people to seek for the mandate, he presented his manifesto. And that manifesto is a party-affiliated manifesto. So me, I'm the eye of the President on the floor of the House. Mine is to make sure that the manifesto the President talked to the Kenyan people is implemented on the floor. Therefore, I did my job. I did my job perfectly well, and I've made the President happy. So whatever he has given to me, it was approved. Together with the majority leader, we are happy. We did what is possible. Anyone who wants to doubt it now can ask, where is the minority side? Who was the minority side? Who brought the problem within the government? Is that person, if you can bring problems in your own family, are you good enough and fit to have another family elsewhere? I feel the answer is no. So anyone who caused confusion in the majority side, that is the person to blame. Yes.
Also, in this house, what were your highest moments and as well your lowest moments? Because I know this has been experienced by everyone who has been here.
First, I would want to begin with my lowest moments. My lowest moments in this house is the COVID times, when we lost our colleagues. I want to really, I felt it and I still feel it. Some of them were too close to me, like Mheshimiwa Koinange. Mheshimiwa Koinange was an elder to me. He was a spiritual parent, and we could really share a lot on the floor of the house. And sometimes when it got tough, we could come here, lock ourselves here and think, where are we taking our country? So I felt it when I lost Mheshimiwa Koinange, and I get emotional when I talk about him. I felt it, I lost Mheshimiwa Murunga, who was very good, friendly to me. He was my neighbor, neighboring constituency at home. So that was my lowest moment, followed by the administrative moment, when I had to sign a letter dismissing the majority leader, Mheshimiwa Duale. Having been a good friend, having joined Parliament in 2013 together, he took me through the life of Parliament, but it got a level where the leading politics had to change. We had to either accept to toe the line or pull out. Unfortunately, it happened that it's me signing his exit letter. It was very painful, but I had to do it because that is what this office is all about. So I felt that was a very, very hard moment for me. The good moment is when we passed the BBI bill. I want to challenge those who have been in this house, those who will come after me. it's not easy to raise 2/3 majority in this House. And we did it, we raised, even we surpassed the official 2/3 majority. That moment, it took me about 4 nights, sleepless nights, to plan and see how am I going to approach it. A divided House, but I managed to pull it. I want to thank the President for his support during that time. I want to thank the Honorable Raila Odinga for his support during that time. I want to thank my colleagues, whom we really partnered together. It was a strategy rather than an event on the floor. It wouldn't have been defeated, and I'm sure even the other side thought we are going to be defeated. But I knew I'm a man of numbers. I went to college to read numbers, and I implemented numbers. So I believe that was a good moment. The other good moment have been on the floor. We've seen in this 12th Parliament, maybe times when we could really come together as one. There is a time when the House, both minority, the majority being divided, but we could speak as one. Especially, I want to congratulate and say thanks to Mheshimiwa Ishungwa. Sometimes he becomes very much defensive of the Tanga group, but when it comes to bills which really affect the country, he reasoned beyond just the Tanga team. I want to appreciate him for that, and we will take forward the country together.
I'll be looking forward also to hear much more later. That has been Majority Whip Emmanuel Wangwe taking us through the 12th Parliament and what it has been like. But I'll be here in Parliament to let you get more on the goodbyes as we head to a general election that is on August.
And indeed, in the voice of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the whip as well would say there is no debt that is too much a debt for as long as this money is put to the right use. Elizabeth Mutuko, we're looking forward to get the updates as you have well put it. Now, being the last day for the 12th Parliament, lawmakers are considering the Kenya Revenue Amendment Bill that seeks to rename Kenya Revenue Authority to Kenya Revenue Service. The bill also seeks to amend other statutes which have references to the name Kenya Revenue Authority to reflect the new name. Through the rebranding, KRA would be enabled to maintain a clear focus on taxpayers' needs and rights.
Office as a member of the board or as an officer or a member of staff of the authority immediately before the commencement of this section shall continue to hold office as if that person had been appointed under this act. That is what is in the bill. Now, what the honorable member for Garissa is proposing to do to reinforce it is this. He is proposing to add a new clause, subclause 5A, which will read as this. A person who immediately before the commencement of this act held the office of Commissioner General, member of the board, or commissioner shall continue to hold office only for the unexpired period of their term.
Once you have served, when your term expires, even if you are due for renewal, you cannot be renewed. Mr. Speaker, this amendment must fall, because if you are serving and you are eligible to renew another term, Mr. Speaker, you must be granted that opportunity, because the Constitution also allows you to serve.
When you say shall and only, Mr. Speaker, it's limiting. It means that these commissioners and also the Commissioner General can only will only be eligible to serve for the term that they have. If they want to seek for renewal, it is not provided for. So, Honorable Chair, I beg to oppose.
But Chair, those who are saying only and shall, I want to ask them a question. A very moral, fundamental question. I am securing the current contract of the Commissioner General and the board. Am I right in my amendment? Why are you talking about anticipation? When this one expires, he is subjected to performance contracting by the new board, by government. You know, Honorable Kimunya, I have been a leader of majority, and I have been the first leader of majority. And I served for 7.5 years. When a member is talking, I don't talk.
The import of this amendment is to specifically limit the service of commissioners, the current Commissioner General, and members of the board to only the unexpired term, and thereafter they will not be eligible. So, because this is such a fundamental alteration of the original bill, the Division of Revenue bill, which is now an act, and set aside 370 billion shillings that is going to be allocated across the counties through the horizontal allocation. And we did also approve the formula that came from Senate last time, which has been the basis of using this. And since it's been applied consistently between last year and this year for the same figures, then we don't have much of a choice than to just concur. Ours was just to ensure that the formula has been applied as decided by Parliament.
And Mr. Speaker, I think even as we have the second Senate now exceeding, there are a number of lessons we need to learn as a House and the Senate needs to learn. That matters to do with the counties must be treated with the highest priority required, Honorable Speaker, because counties, some of them are really suffering as a result of really not being served well by the Senate.
Now, political tension continues to rise after an Infotrack research released their poll yesterday that showed Raila Odinga leading with 42%, followed by William Ruto with 38%. We're currently joined by Nakuru-based reporter Chichi Josephine to tell us more as to what the people of Nakuru have to say. Chichi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Linda, and a very good afternoon to you. And indeed, we are coming live to you from Nakuru City. And of course, yesterday, a new poll was released by the Infotrack research that placed Raila Odinga, that is the ODM party leader, Raila Odinga, with 42%, and Deputy President William Ruto with 38%. And therefore, this is an issue that has sparked a heated debate among residents in Nakuru County. And therefore, with me here, I am joined by locals in Nakuru County to whom I'll be talking to just to hear some of their reactions on the Infotrack research results. Therefore, shukran sana kwa kuzungumza na TV47. Nieleze baada ya kupata matokeo ya Infotrack ambapo Raila Odinga alikuwa akiongoza na naibu wa rais alikuwa akifuata. Wewe maoni yako ni yapi?
Mimi ni mkazi wa Nakuru na mimi ni mwadhiriwa wa 2007 and 8 post-election violence. Majina yangu ni Peter H. Tena. Ama kwa kweli ni huzuni mkubwa kabisa kwa kuona vyombo vya habari na tuseme kwa mfano vyombo vya habari na pia magazeti zimetangaza siku ya leo kuwa Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga ako mbele, kipawa mbele juu yake na mpinzani wake ambaye ni Deputy President William Ruto. Ama kwa kweli kutokana na yale ambayo tumesikia hapa na pale katika sehemu zetu zile tunazoishi na hata hapa mjini Nakuru, ni jambo moja la kuhuzunisha sana. Tulikuwa tumeshaambiwa na the Commission on Communication of Kenya, the Safaricom, the Airtel na vyombo zile zingine kuwa kutakuwa na regulatory body ambayo itakuwa ikitathmini hizi poll farms zote katika Jamhuri ya Kenya. Ama kwa kweli ukikumbuka vizuri hapo siku chache zimepita kulikuwa na pia poll iliyokuwa imetolewa na NSIS. Lazima turudi mahali pale. Ikasema kuwa pia Raila Amolo Odinga alikuwa kipawa mbele kwa 60%.
Labda unieleze wewe kwako unaona vipi, ni kuna haja yoyote ya kuwa na hizi polls?
Tunasema hivi na tunaomba serikali yote kwa jumla iweze kuziondolea mbali kwa wakati huu wa election hii, kwa sababu tayari imejionyeshana wazi kuna ile tunasema kuna mvutano kati ya wale wapinzani wawili Raila Amolo Odinga na Ruto. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri hizo poll ziondolewe, waachiwe uwanja wale wawili.
Kuna uwazi wowote wewe kama Mkenya umeweza kufikiwa na labda ukaulizwa maoni yako? Maana tuseme Infotrack.
Kwa mfano Infotrack zote, wacha niseme hivi, kwa jumla, kwa sababu si vizuri sana tuegemee upande moja. Infotrack na zile farm zingine zote zinazotoa polls, na pia zile polls ziko ndani ya serikali, hakuna mmoja wao amewahi kuja kunikuta mimi na kuniuliza maoni yangu. Kwa hivyo ziondolewe tu tafadhali.
Shukran. Allow me talk to another one for this next. You have only 30 seconds to explain. Tell me, what are your views concerning the Infotrack research results that were released yesterday?
On my side, mimi naweza sema wananchi waachiwe nafasi ya kuamua. Hii mambo ya Infotrack sometimes ina mislead. Now we have come to realize it has imekuwa biashara. So yangu ningeomba, hatutaki kurudia mambo kama yale yalifanyika 2007. Wananchi waachiwe nafasi waamue. Na hata wakati wanaenda kwa siasa, milengo zote mbili, unapata ya kwamba kwa hizo milengo zote mbili wamefunguka macho na wamechanuka. So hakuna vile watafuata ati kuegemea ati Infotrack. To this election ningeomba, ingekuwa vizuri itolewe completely, wananchi waachiwe nafasi ya kuamua. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Therefore, Linda, remember those are the residents in Nakuru County, of course, explaining further on how they received the news from the research, from the Infotrack research. Remember, they placed Raila Odinga as the leading, as leading with 42%, followed by Deputy President William Ruto with 38%. And of course, there was another company by the Tifa company that has done a similar research and also placed Raila Odinga leading with 39%, followed by Deputy President William Ruto with 35%. And of course, residents here complain that, of course, this is a one way of ensuring that Kenyans headed to the general elections, there becomes skirmishes and, of course, raising eyebrows to why they should, of course, go by the sides of Raila Odinga. Of course, they feel it was not biased and probably they were one-sided, of course, on the side of Raila Amolo Odinga. Therefore, it's a story, and of course, I am keeping an eye on, and later I will be able to inform our viewers to what residents in Nakuru County will be saying concerning this Infotrack that was released yesterday. And of course, remember the chief executive, that is Angela Ambitho, had of course said that the release of the poll, of course, had a negative impact on Ruto's polls, of course, saying that the choice of the running mates, that is, remember Raila Odinga chose Martha Karua, and also Deputy President William Ruto chose Rigathi Gachagua. And of course, Ambitho was saying that their choice of running mates, of course, affected the polls. Therefore, allow me keep on an eye on this, and I will be able to inform our viewers to what is currently unfolding in Nakuru County. Over to you, Linda. My name is Chichi Josephine.
Chichi, thank you so much. And indeed, we are expecting more updates and reactions across the country, as well as more on the opinion polls, especially at this very last moment, only 61 days to the general election. And therefore, this will hugely shape what the matrix of politics is right here in the country. We'll always be keen to give you updates on this. We take a short break and we come back with much more on the updates of Infotrack and so much more.
TV47 Country Ride brings you the great country music entertainment show. Dust your boots, put your hats, and ride the night with us.
Up from San Antonio.
Yes, from all regions in Kenya. Country Ride gives you the best musical experience to you and your family.
She's the lead.
Bring out the best of country magical moments by celebrating our fans' music, powered by DJ Stiga and host CK the Cowgirl.
Watch the Country Ride every Sunday, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m.
only on TV47, the home of great entertainment.
Let's ride to the night together.
This is The Grind. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. T.S. Eliot.
So I decided, let me just take this up, put the teaching on hold first. Let me try see where this can go.
I mean, the opportunities are a lot. But is that all you need? Oh wait, there's more. This seems a little too much. Let's slow it down.
Thank you for choosing to stay with us. More in the world of news with latest InfoTrack polls placing Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate ahead with 42%, while Kenya Kwanza Deputy President William Ruto at 38%. The poll has attracted mixed reactions across the political divide. We now cross over to Eldoret Town, Uasin Gishu County, where our reporter Boniface Baraza is pitching tent for this update. Boniface, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to Linda Lela, and we're coming to you live from Eldoret Town in Uasin Gishu County, which is the home turf of DP Ruto, William Ruto, who is the Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate in August 9th election. And remember, we are keeping an eye on the latest opinion poll released yesterday by InfoTrack that it placed Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate ahead at 42%, while William Ruto, or DP William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza, at 38%. Remember, it's an issue, or it's an opinion poll that has attracted mixed reaction across the political divide. There are those who are in support, or there are those who are in agreement with the latest polls released yesterday, but there are those who are dispelling the results or the opinion polls, and there are those who are totally dismissing and disagreeing with that opinion poll released yesterday. But just to bring our viewers to speed, we're joined by Philip Chebunet, a political analyst from Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, who also doubles up as a lecturer from University of Eldoret. Thank you for making time for TV47, Philip Chebunet. Kindly move closer here. Yesterday we saw the InfoTrack released its opinion poll, placing ODM Raila Odinga, or Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate, at 42%, while DP William Ruto at 38%. What do you take of this opinion poll first?
Yeah, thank you very much. First, I think I want to say that I am just shocked by such kind of statistics and data. I've been a lecturer for over 10 years, but I really don't know which school Angela Ambitho went to. Because if such a margin, and you say William Ruto is 38%, and you say Raila Odinga is 42%. Now, if you check the number of undecideds, it's a very huge percentage. And the margin of error is so big. So I think the other thing that comes out is that Raila Odinga has been leading in all the opinion polls. He led in the opinion polls of 2007. He led in the opinion polls of 2013. And in 2017, if you remember the opinion polls, he had over 52%. Way above what Uhuru Kenyatta had. But still Raila Odinga lost. So we can just say that Raila Odinga is a candidate of InfoTrack. That's what I can say. Because,
why do you say so?
Because he has been leading in all the InfoTracks, but on the ground, he has no votes. I would wish that these opinion polls match with the votes on the ground. The other thing, Angela Ambitho should give us opinion polls of the standard of living on what people are going through now. Right now, Kenyans are not interested in opinion polls of personalities. He should give us opinion polls of flour. He should give us opinion polls of jobs. Yeah, and what the hustlers are going through. Otherwise, what I can see that this InfoTrack are preparing, they are also setting up Raila Odinga to swear himself. Because if in case Raila Odinga loses, I'm sure he's going to take the Bible again in Uhuru Park. Because he will say that I even won in the opinion polls. So I think if something will happen in the future, and Angela Mbitho should be called upon to, in case there will be a court case. Because he will have to say, why is he putting candidates ahead? So it's just a setting up Raila Odinga to swear himself the way he did last time.
Lastly, according to Infotrack, its sample was 9,000 across the 290 constituency. From where you sit being a political analyst and being a lecturer of university, do you believe that the 9,000 sample reflect the will of the 42 million Kenyans?
I think Angela Mbitho should go back to class. In fact, he should come to my class here in University of Eldoret, because such a margin of error is the worst in whichever statistics that has ever been done. Let him just know that. Let her just know that these things are they're just making Raila to believe that he's winning, yet he's not.
Thank you. Let's also hear from other Kenyans here briefly. He's a religious leader. Baba, thank you for making time for TV47. Wewe binafsi kama mpiga kura na kama mkazi wa kaunti hii, jana tumeona kura maoni imetolewa na Infotrack ikimworodhesha Raila Odinga kwa 42% huku naibu rais kwa 38%. Unapokeleaje kura hiyo ya maoni?
Maoni yangu ni ile kwamba kitu kama hii kinaweza kuleta, that is about inciting. We don't want that thing. Hiyo kitu kidubiriwe mbali kabisa. Hiyo kitu yote kidubiriwe mbali hiyo kabisa. Hiyo ndio kitu ambao niko na ndani ya moyo wangu. Kwa sababu you are not interested on that. What for? Hii sahi ni mapema sana. It's only that.
Thank you, Linda Lela. You've had it clear from a political analyst who's based in Eldoret, Wazingishu County, and also from the religious leader who was just passing by, just to give their take in regard to the latest opinion poll released yesterday by Infotrack that placed Raila Odinga ahead at 42%, while Kenya Kwanza, who's DP William Ruto, at 38%. Remember, as I alluded earlier, the opinion poll, the opinion poll sample across the 290 constituency, and it used a sample of 9,000 Kenyans who are voters. We wait to see if at all the opinion poll will reflect the will of Kenyans come August 9, when Kenyans will be heading to the ballot to make their decision. I take it back to you. Over to you, Linda Lela, for the interest of time. We continue to pitch tent here in Eldoret. Whatever will be happening, we'll be informing our viewers in our subsequent bulletin. Over to you, Linda Lela.
Thank you so much, Boniface Baraza. Call them the dictates of a political environment where whatever happens will be loved by others as well as condemned and hated by others. Now, the Anglican Development Services is celebrating its 25th anniversary for transforming lives at Buhungu Stadium. Anglican Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit is currently speaking to the congregations. So let's cross over there and listen in.
Good news, how much are we achieving in terms of releasing of the captives? How much are we achieving in terms of recovery of sight to the blind and in all those forms of blindness I've spoken about? How much are we releasing the oppressed into freedom and let them go free, so that we may be able to say, like Jesus, proclaiming the year of the Lord's favor. So I wonder, Chair of our board of ADS, and my brother bishops present, and the ADS directors, as we celebrate these years of our existence in this region, how are we close to make these statements? That 25 years down the line, we can say we are declaring our 25th anniversary as the year of the Lord's favor. 2, 3 things we can count and say we have made it happen. I want to say the development agenda is never a completed agenda. It is always a work in progress, because we'll tackle one aspect and another one come. We will conquer one challenge and a new challenge will emerge, but it is always work in progress. And the work in progress must encompass the reaching of our souls, the reaching of our minds, the call of our physical body to engage, and make ourselves enablers of what communities are all about. We are imagining, as I conclude, how do we define a wholesome person? And I've said this many times. And today when we are driving from Kisumu to this place, I was with Dr. Catherine, and she was challenging me, can we have a clear identity of what somebody we can call an Anglican? Can we pinpoint an Anglican identity? And this is what I want to propose to this congregation. Let us aim to have an Anglican identity of one individual who have Jesus in the heart, say Jesus in the heart, the right knowledge in the mind, hard working to put food on the table, have enough to put money in the pocket, care for the environment that will take after, which will care after us, and maintain harmonious relationships. If that becomes the identity of an Anglican, I'll be proud to see every Anglican family, every Anglican person is one with Jesus in the heart, has a personal relationship with God, one with the right knowledge in the mind, who can use all the technology displayed here and make a difference in his own home, in his own farm. Somebody who can be able, to bring and put food on the table and do the value addition which we saw there, and put that value-added products into the market, earn some money. That money goes to the poor, goes to the neighbor, goes to the church, and then we use the same to grow the environment, grow our trees, create a safer environment for all of us. If we do that and make the world harmonious, we will have our peace, the nation will be blessed, and all of us will be proud to be an Anglican. Will you join me to be that Anglican? Let us aim to be an Anglican with a difference. And Jesus is the source of our making the difference. Let us pray. We thank you, Father, for this moment and for all that we have shared since we gathered here. Our prayer is that you'll bless our journey through. The journey of faith, the journey of proclaiming the gospel, the journey, oh God, through Anglican development services, or participating in what is your mission, recovery of sight to the blind, giving hope to the hopeless, proclaiming the year of the Lord favor, and Lord, releasing the oppressed to go free, and the captives to be given a release and are able to be propelled to greatness. Father God, we pray that as we celebrate these 25 years, we can be able to take stock of a milestone, but also locate and discover other areas in which we can take advantage. And our prayer is open our minds to be able to see beyond now. Give us a resilient spirit and the spirit of the right brothers who imagine things before they became and are passionate and they saw it come. May we also who trust and believe in you, oh God, have greater imagination, inform our great vision that we can birth and make life here on earth bearable and enjoyable as we wait the culmination in fullness of the eternal kingdom of the Father. For this is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Asante, tunaweza simama kwa heshima. Asante sana His Grace the Archbishop of the Anglican Church of Kenya, Daktari Jackson Ole Sapit, for that inspirational address to us as we celebrate the 25th anniversary for ADS Western Region. Asante sana Baba Askofu.
We obviously get updates of that later on our subsequent bulletins. Congratulations to them. Now back to politics. Chama cha Uzalendo Machakos gubernatorial candidate Nzioka Waita has hailed Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka's move to rejoin the Azimio coalition, terming it a wise move. The former State House Chief of Staff, who is contesting the Machakos gubernatorial seat, however, thrashed Kalonzo's Wiper Party six-piece voting pattern, the campaign call, terming it as outdated. Waita urged Machakos residents to elect leaders who could perform. Waita, who spoke in Masinga sub-county that is offered the region the Speaker's post if elected as Machakos governor.
Sisi tumemkaribisha Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka katika Azimio. Alikuwa na sita, lakini ni vizuri, alisema alienda akaomba na akaelekezwa njia inayofaa, na hiyo njia ndio tulikuwa tumemwambia hapo mwanzoni, lakini ni vizuri alikonfirm yeye mwenyewe ya kwamba serikali ambayo inakuja ni serikali ya Raila Amolo Odinga, na yeye amekubali kuingia ndani na kutusaidia kutafuta hiyo serikali. Lakini shida ambayo tumeona kidogo kwa chama ya Kalonzo Musyoka ni hii maneno ya kusema wananchi wanalazimishwa kupiga suti, na tunajua siasa ya 6 piece imepitwa na wakati. Kwa hivyo tunaambia wananchi Azimio iko na vyama 26 na wachague viongozi ambao wanatoka katika hiyo muungano wa Azimio, na haijalishi chama yenyewe, lakini watafute viongozi ambao watawafanyia kazi. Na kwa watu wapinzani wangu, na waomba tafadhali, wacha tupige siasa za sera na maendeleo, na siasa ya matusi tuache nyuma, kwa sababu hatutaki kuhatarisha maisha ya wananchi.
Kisii County Azimio la Umoja Board has been launched by Dagoretti North Member of Parliament Simba Arati, despite receiving continued hostility from Kisii County outgoing ODM Governor James Ongwae, addressing the press in Kisii town after giving the board a green light to commence its roles and duties. Simba Arati has said the board will be responsible for coordinating Azimio's activities. Arati, who is also vying for Kisii gubernatorial seat under the ODM ticket, revealed that the committee will be spearheading the arrangement of the visit of President Uhuru Kenyatta and Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate, that is the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, to Kisii County next week.
Is a disciplined board and above the sectarial thieves in individual member political parties. We recognize, or the board recognize me as the chairman of the Azimio Nyanza campaign platform. We do not recognize any other appointees and all other self-styled leaders of our Azimio Nyanza campaign platform, whose aim is to cause confusion and restlessness within Azimio family in our county.
That is the position from the Prime Minister's office in Nairobi. That is my position as the coordinator at the national level from the Kisii community, and that is the position. We know that there is a strategy to make sure that Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga's votes in Kisii are diluted because of us all being in Azimio. But the Kisii voter is smart. They know who says Raila during the day, at night they say something else.
The Institution of Surveyors of Kenya, ISK, is currently holding their annual conference in Mombasa, whose theme is embracing technovation in the land and built environment. The conference, which has brought together key stakeholders in land matters, is expected to address issues related to legislative bills in the land sector, challenges of the Artisasa platform, among others. The stakeholders are currently addressing the press in Mombasa. Let's listen into that.
Today we are having our pre-AGM conference, national government. We however note that there are still challenges in the implementation of Artisasa, which are causing delays in transactions in land. We therefore wish that this can be improved so that we have an improvement in the conduct of searches, submission of cadastral jobs, which are survey jobs, and the general processing of land transactions can be done digitally. As a key stakeholder in the land and property sector, we are available to assist the government to realize this dream. Secondly, we wish to note that the institution has been at the forefront in championing for the formulation of policies and legislation that impact the land sector and more so the surveying profession. The current parliament is coming to an end with various pending business or pending bills that would require that they be followed through in the next parliament. These bills are the Land Surveyors Registration Bill, we have the Valuers Bill, Survey and Mapping Bill, Land Administration Bills, and these are proposed bills that we hope the next parliament coming after August will take an interest in. We are also aware that the survey policy and the evaluation policy are in formulation, and we hope before the end of the year we can have them in place. The Constitution 2010 has provided an elaborate framework on which land reform is underpinned.
Members and aspirants drawn from the KANU Party Nairobi branch are calling on their party chair to advocate for their recognition and contribution to the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance. The party members have lamented that apart from ODM and Jubilee Party, other parties have been sidelined with the majority of the functions and events headed by the Jubilee and ODM parties, despite KANU fielding candidates in about 26 wards. And according to the members, sidelining is not the reflection of a coalition formation, which is meant to reflect the diversity of the Azimio faction. The party members are also calling on their party leader Gideon Moi to meet the Nairobi branch members to get to know them or to help them solve their grievances.
Zaidi kama KANU, kwa sababu this is the time that KANU has come up again. Leo munasikia hata ukitembea Nairobi unaona billboards zimewekwa, kwa sababu inajulikana ya kwamba KANU ni chama cha baba na mama. Na leo hii our presidential candidate na deputy, kwani wanaita nani? Baba na mama. Baba na mama. Hiyo ni KANU. Tunakubaliana? Inamaanisha kwamba the spirit of KANU is back in this country. Tunakubaliana? So sisi tutashika mkono pamoja na tutaenda pamoja. We thank you very much. Mungu awabariki na Mungu awabariki Kenya na awabariki KANU. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much.
Kama mko na swali, you can ask. Yes. Was announced on TV. We were in the process of doing our clearance, and as you can see, by virtue of the fact kwamba chairman wetu amesign certificate akanipatia, ni ishara kwamba hakuhusishwa. Nafikiri nimekujibu.